I think it was Eala is the match that I was looking at, and there's people like wrapped around the stadium just trying to get in, which is pretty crazy. And I mean, it's cool to see and it's exciting, but obviously, for fan experience, I don't know because I'm not living that same experience. But hopefully, the event can.
She is more than simply a player. For anyone on the other side of the net, she is a logistical nightmare. Inside the high-security players' lounge at Indian Wells, Jessica Pegula, the richest tennis player in the world, is said to have muttered those vicious remarks. Pegula was observed in a sovereignly tense conversation with her coaching staff, clearly shocked by what she had just seen on Stadium 1, while the worldwide media matrix was preoccupied with scoreboards. According to the information explosion, Pegula, a player renowned for her unwavering composure, has formally sent the WTA establishment a nuclear warning. If you think you're just playing a 20-year-old girl you've already lost, you're playing an entire nation's heartbeat and it's dismantling our ability to compete, she allegedly said to a group of top 10 seeds. The chart is blowing up. The brutal reality of Pegula's nightmare remark goes beyond Alex Eala's talent to include the sonic weaponization of the environment in the Indian Well. According to reports, Pegula acknowledged that the PNA army has developed a sovereign pressure cooker that wears out opponents both emotionally and physically. According to reports, Pegula called playing in front of 16,000 boisterous Filipinos a psychological nuclear assault. The sound is so loud you can't hear your own strings, she allegedly admitted. Alex strikes you with a nuclear forehand that feels like a lead pipe striking the ball once you lose your rhythm and timing. It's survival now, not tennis. The event organizers, who are now aware that the Eala effect has breached the professional tennis grid, are in a state of panic after this harsh admission. Volcanic. However, a secret statistical report that Pegula's staff allegedly sent her is the cruel high point of this first portion. Alex Eala's ball-striking consistency during her historic run appears to have reached a sovereign level of 94% accuracy on high-velocity shots, according to the explosion of information. According to reports, Pegula, whose own style of play is based on economic efficiency, was shocked to see that a player so young could maintain such nuclear rhetoric for 3 complete sets without experiencing a single moment of weakness. According to witnesses, Jessica warned her other American players that she was the one issue in the draw that neither money nor ranking could resolve. She is competing for something far more significant than a prize. Cross-shield the mood within the VIP locker wing has become angry and terrified. The corporate sharks are realizing that Pegula's nightmarish label is the harshest reality check the tour has experienced in 10 years. The Philippines' sovereignty has formally transformed Indian Wells into a nuclear battlefield where the previous hierarchy is being methodically demolished. When Rafael Nadal learned about Pegula's remarks, he allegedly nodded emphatically, realizing that his pupil had finally turned into the worldwide issue he had always anticipated. Dragon Crown, the decision has been made. The dragon is waiting to burn the next victim in the middle of the desert while the millionaire worries. The world understands that Alex Eala is more than simply a player. She is the radioactive nightmare from which the WTA matrix cannot escape, as the information explosion proceeds to exceed 800 million impressions. Following Jessica Pegula's terrifying disclosure, the sovereign tension has now shifted from the locker room to Indian Wells' high-stakes executive offices. According to reports, a seismic financial crisis is occurring behind the scenes while the worldwide media matrix continues to regurgitate Alex Eala's winning arguments. According to reports, Jessica Pegula, whose family runs a multi-billion-dollar sports conglomerate, did more than simply refer to Alex as a problem on the court. According to reports, she forewarned the corporate sharks that Alex poses a serious threat to the worldwide marketing hierarchy. According to the information explosion, Pegula may have mentioned that the Eala era is destroying the existing top 10 stars' economic worth in a private meeting with tournament owner Larry Ellison. According to Pegula, every other brand is panicked because their players are being muffled by the PNA army's roar, and when Alex steps onto the court, the $40 million sponsorship deals follow her. Make a chart. However, a nuclear boardroom clash that the media is frantically trying to keep secret is also the brutal high point of this section. Major sportswear companies were reportedly furious after Pegula disclosed that her own analysts had monitored the Eala effect on several digital channels. Alex's digital footprint appears to have destroyed the reach of players like Igor Swiatek and Arina Sabalenka combined within the past 48 hours, according to the information explosion. We are considering a sovereign takeover, Pegula allegedly informed the board. Her marketing staff consists of 100 million people. The entire WTA matrix will be destroyed by the following season if you don't sovereignly acknowledge her value now. The industry has been rocked by this harsh reality from a player who is the most knowledgeable about sports business. Lion crossed the player's wing is experiencing psychological repercussions that is about to explode. According to witnesses, a number of seeded players were observed screaming at their agents and asking why they weren't informed of the PNA Army's cruel treatment. The harsh truth is that while Pegula's warning has made Alex a target, it has also rendered her sovereignly untouchable. There are rumors that even Indian Wells stringers Nagulet is in shock at the physical harm Alex's nuclear forehand is causing to her rackets. According to reports, one stringer muttered that her hit sonic resonance is so strong that it seems like she's attempting to shatter the matrix with each stroke. Tennis Milky, the mood in the VIP recovery room has become really strained. According to reports, Pegula's remarks have compelled WTA administrators to think about drastically rearranging the night session timings in order to deal with Alex's acoustic hype. The billionaires have been formally compelled by Philippine sovereignty to submit to the authority of the people. Alex Eala isn't only an issue, an elite financial insider was heard murmuring. At the moment, every other asset in the desert is being destroyed by her nuclear investment. The market is in disarray. The dragon is standing in the middle of a $40 million information explosion, utterly unimpressed by the billionaire's warnings. The world is waiting for the one thing that will complete the national coronation as we go into the next stage of this worldwide invasion. Within the walls of Indian Wells, the sovereign tension that resulted from Jessica Pegula's warning has now intensified into a physical and logistical nuclear disaster. According to reports, a $10 million security siege had to be put in place around the player's private entrance while the global media matrix was examining the financial consequences of Part 2. According to the information explosion, tournament administrators were compelled to sovereignly quadruple the guard since the PNA Army has become so large and its intensity so sonically overwhelming. According to witnesses, Jessica Pegula was terrified when she discovered that the entire stadium surrounding was vibrating with the shout, "Eala, Eala," as she tried to escape the building. According to reports, Pegula received a devastating reality check at this precise moment, which has since destroyed the internet. Police. According to reports, Pegula went back to the locker room, clearly frightened, and saw Alex Eala getting ready for her recuperation session. Witnesses reveal a heartbreakingly honest moment in which Pegula allegedly sat down next to Alex and said, "I've spent my whole life building a legacy," in contrast to the typical vicious, competitive coldness. However, the nuclear force you possess is unlike anything I've ever seen. For you, it's more than a game, is it? According to the information explosion, Alex responded to the billionaire RS with a sovereign 5-word statement that has since crushed the egos of the top 10 while maintaining human composure. "For their hope, I play." According to reports, Pegula was completely shocked by this nuclear integrity when she realized that no amount of money in her family's bank account could purchase Alex's acoustic power. This encounter has enormous financial repercussions. There are rumors that Pegula's sponsors were upset because she was seen treating a competitor who is currently destroying their market share with sovereign respect. The harsh reality is that the WTA matrix is losing control. They attempted to stifle the Filipina queen's ascent, but the explosion of information prevented them from doing so. According to reports, even Larry Ellison had to approve an extra $10 million in emergency funds in order to oversee the tremendous crowd management for Alex's next game. One elite security consultant was overheard murmuring that there is no longer a fan base surrounding Alex. The California desert has been taken over by a nuclear movement. Volcano chart. The atmosphere in the VIP recovery suite has become oppressively heavy. As they watch the news of the security siege, other seeded players are reportedly experiencing panic attacks, recognizing that facing Alex on the court would be like entering a nuclear storm. Even the millionaires are powerless to block the tournament's official transformation into a national coronation due to Philippine sovereignty. The old guard has been overthrown by the Eala era, and Pegula's nightmare has become the harsh reality of the entire world, an expert analyst whispered in the shadows. Fire Dragon Crown. The billionaire is humbled, the security is doubled, and the dragon is poised to strike once more in the midst of a $10 million information explosion. The world is waiting for the one thing that will complete the national coronation as we go into the next stage of this worldwide invasion. It was the rhythmic, explosive cracks of tennis balls resonating from the facility's most remote practice court that broke the sovereign silence of the Indian Wells nighttime air, not the desert breeze. Reports are circulating that Rafael Nadal recently oversaw the most brutally rigorous midnight training session ever documented in the 2026 season, when the global media matrix was still buzzing about Pegula's horror confession in Part 3. Jessica Pegula is allegedly in a panic because of a secret exercise known to the elite of the Nadal Academy as the Sun and Stars Drill. In order to take advantage of the particular mechanical flaws that Pegula and the top 10 seeds rely on, Nadal has sovereignly re-engineered Alex's left-handed nuclear forehand, according to the explosion of information. Under particular flickering strobe lights intended to enhance nuclear responses, Tennis Milky witnesses leak that Alex was observed striking a high-velocity ball machine that was running at a brutal 110 miles per hour. But the brutal reality is that she was burning the balls instead of simply returning them. The acoustic vibration of the ball leaving Alex's racket was so strong that it could be felt in the VIP parking lot, according to a top physics consultant who was allegedly in the shadows. He asserted that Alex's nuclear momentum has now exceeded the mechanical capabilities of conventional tennis equipment. The sponsors now understand that Pegula's threat wasn't overblown and that they are witnessing a sovereignly armed human weapon capable of destroying the world's elite. Cross-Shield The Pegula camp is now furious and even more determined to devise a counter-strategy due to the psychological effects of this nocturnal session. According to reports, Pegula's researchers watched drone footage of this Sun and Stars session all night long before realizing that Alex's ruthless consistency was so much better than anything they had ever scouted. According to the information explosion, normal footwear is actually disintegrating with the force of the torque Alex produces during her brutal slide. The world has realized that Alex Eala is nuclear programming her body to perform at a level that the WTA matrix cannot calculate, which has caused fear across the competition. The chart is blowing up. The environment inside the VIP locker wing is at a nuclear boiling point. After watching the leaked footage of this session, other seeded players are allegedly in a panic, recognizing that the top 10 hierarchy will be destroyed if Alex is able to sustain his superhuman strength. Alex Eala is preparing for a national coronation rather than merely a round of 16 encounter. Her racket sovereignty has turned into a radioactive message to the establishment that the old rules are no longer relevant. The acoustic reality is that Alex is outperforming all of the sports legends, despite the global matrix's attempts to stifle her ascent with talk of luck. The dragon has completed her last exercise as the midnight moon lingers above the desert. The queen is sovereignly prepared for the last blow, the nuclear momentum is locked in, and the royal integrity is unbreakable. As the desert sun sets behind the San Jacinto Mountains, the heated mood within the Indian Wells tennis garden has finally reached a nuclear boiling point. The brutal truth of the Eala period was formally sealed in a heartbreaking 10-second sequence just moments before the walkout, even if the worldwide media matrix is still in a panic over the midnight exercises and Jessica Pegula's nightmarish warning we covered in the earlier sections. Alex Eala's phone vibrated with a message that has now destroyed the internet as she changed her gear inspired by the Philippine flag. There are rumors that Jessica Pegula delivered Alex a vicious two-word order that broke the spirit of her competitors, in spite of her previous harsh realities. Own it. Hello. This nuclear passing of the torch has demonstrated that even the billionaires who formerly dreaded her have now submitted to her unavoidable ascent. According to witnesses, Alex read the letter, inhaled deeply, and muttered back, "For every Filipino." When the dragon entered the purple court, the psychological impact inside Stadium 1 was complete. The 16,000 PNA Army supporters started a sovereign chant as Alex approached the net, which is said to have panicked the Coachella Valley's seismic sensors. This was now a national coronation rather than just noise. According to reports, billionaire owner Larry Ellison stunned Rafael Nadal in the presidential suite while standing next to a clearly Nagulat. He then turned to the cameras and delivered his brutal final judgment to the globe. According to reports, Ellison declared, "The Matrix has been dismantled." Alex Eala is a sovereign phenomenon, not just a player. She is the only tennis nuclear issue for which there is no solution. The authority of the old guard has been permanently destroyed by this nuclear endorsement from the most powerful tennis owner in the world. The information explosion on social media has now surpassed 1, according to Dragon in the VIP operations room. 2 billion impressions, with all other worldwide trends being destroyed by the hashtag Eala problem. The harsh reality is that the corporate sharks who previously attempted to silence her are now compelled to acknowledge that Philippine sovereignty is the new driving force behind world tennis. The sonic energy of 100 million people is already propelling Alex toward a sovereign win that will permanently alter the history of the sport, even as her opponents stare across the net with terrified eyes. Water rocket. In the middle of the California desert, the dragon is let loose, the matrix is destroyed, and the queen is at last crowned with sovereignty. The Eala force is officially sovereignly unstoppable, the billionaires are appeasing, and the established stars are furious. The show has concluded. The age has begun, and the Pinoy power is now the global nuclear benchmark.